Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another F1 2020 career mode here on my channel. This weekend we have the Chinese Grand Prix, I believe. No, it's not the Chinese Grand Prix, it's the Zandfort Grand Prix, sorry, my bad. We're here at Zandfort, a track which I do quite like. It's not one of my favourites, but it's quite a nice flowing track. We're also going to go into our facilities here and actually purchase the analysis suite because it will give Pierre Gasly more experience, and I feel like as a driver he needs that to develop. We're also going to go mad on chassis upgrades, so I'm going to fast forward the time and give myself enough resource points to get another chassis upgrade. Now this is mainly because with my car, the chassis was the second worst on the grid at the start of the season, and now we're sort of mid-tier already. So we're going to enable it. We've got two major upgrades on the way. One's just already been done. So after the chassis upgrade's been done, we'll be near Red Bull in chassis development. Our engine's already fourth quickest. So, and then I'll probably work on downforce for a little bit. I did think I was going to focus on powertrain, but the Mercedes developments have helped us so much. I'll probably do like one or two major upgrades in the powertrain, then really focus on aero. We're the third worst team in aero. So, but this season so far, it's looking like it's going well. We've got enough money. All our facilities are doing well. Pierre's experience stat has gone up as well. So he's now 58 rated on experience, which will just help him make less mistakes across the season. Also, if you guys haven't already, please do go and check out my TikTok, which is Morris Pace. I just started doing that a couple of days ago, and it's getting some good. It's getting some good views and some good support from everybody on that side. So if you guys can go check that out if you're on the YouTube side. And yeah, Gasly's now 91 rated, so he's a good driver, just that experience is lacking a little bit, so we need to try and improve his experience as much as we can. But yeah, going into the Zandvoort Grand Prix, I'm hoping to get out of Q1 into Q2, talking about qualifying. Let's head straight into it and I'll explain something. So, in qualifying, I actually did forget to record Q1. I am very sorry for that. I did just forget. I know, because what I do, I cut the clips between each one, and I did forget to record Q1. But we're here in Q2. Both me and Gasly got out of Q1 quite comfortably. Gasly is looking quicker than me again around qualifying. I just do need to improve my qualifying pace. In general, it's something I need to work on for myself. It's not the car, because Gasly was very quick this weekend. The race is something different, but I'll explain that when you guys see it later on in the video. But when it comes to qualifying pace, Gasly's actually starting to look a little bit quicker. Anyway, I'm going to try and qualify as best I can. I don't think I'm going to be able to get into the top 10. Because this track is quite downforce heavy. Our powertrain's good, but the downforce for us is probably one of our worst aspects of our car. So hopefully we can just get a good clean lap in and maybe get, I don't know, P13, P12, something like that, something decent. We're going to skip to the end of my first lap here. Just want to see whereabouts we can put ourselves. Gasly, I believe, is in the top 10 now because he's not even on my leaderboard on the right hand side. We'll go right across the end of the lap here. And we go and set a 19.2. So, as you can see, I'm only a 10th of Ocon. Between 16th and 12th was only a 10th, so it's not a lot of time at all. We go out of the rear exit. We just don't get a good enough exit on the first attempt, so we come around for another lap. And our second attempt on that exit is a bit better. And we put ourselves into P11, which puts us P13 on the grid. Gasly actually got into Q3 for the first time, so well done to Pierre. And now, let's go into the race. So, on the track now, what I'm going to start to do, I'm going to put a little bit less fuel in my car than I would do normally. I'm just on quicker at the start, so I need game positions here. Let's see how we do. 5 red lights, and away we go. Very quick light getaway there. Didn't give me time to talk. Ocon sort of blocked us from the inside. See if we can maybe slip down the inside after he's moved over. We get through. Can we get past Gasly? Oh, he hits us, pushes us into the wall. We haven't got any damage, but it just allows Giotto to go past with the P11. So we gained one position on Esteban Ocon. Let's see if we can go around the outside of our former teammate here, Luke Giotto. Oh, let's see if we can go around the outside. Check short shift up a little bit early, get a bit more traction. Just the speed that Racing Point has. Giotto just breezed past us. I don't think he's becoming a bit of a better driver now, but maybe a mistake letting him go. Not sure. But we're going to try and make up a few positions as Gasly's having a great fight with Sebastian Vettel up ahead. side by side. That was a bit of an adventurous move there on Giotto, I'll admit, and that gives maybe Ocon a bit of a chance, bit all over the place there. Gasly and Vettel are still side by side. Lovely to see this from my teammate, really challenging the four-time world champion. Let's see if he can maybe get past the next braking zone. They're still side by side going into the chicane. I think Vettel's just held him up, and we get past with Giotto on the inside. Giotto is done, and Vettel just holds off Pierre. But good fighting from Pierre. Again, it's just nice to see him putting up a fight against these better teams. Let's see if we can use our ERS. I thought I'd use it quite early here just to try and get past because we can get a free overtake. So now into P9, we're right behind our teammate here for the first time pretty much all season, and we're actually fighting with him. So at the moment, we're in double points, which is great to see. We're going to skip to lap 3 now, and I'm really trying to attack Pierre. Vettel started to pull away, so I think I've got to try and maybe attack Vettel here. I need to overtake my teammate, so they're pretty clean overtake in the end. But I just felt like Gasly had the pace at the start, but he just couldn't quite keep up Sebastian. So I felt like if we're going to get any more points this weekend, I really need to try and catch up to Vettel. So I got the move done on my teammate, and now it's just time to chase after that Ferrari. And all in all, it was a pretty good start for us, I'll be honest. I mean, we started P12. We got ourselves up to P11 by the first corner, and we just gradually gained one position at a time. The difficulty with this track is you can't take more than one car in one corner because it's not very wide. What it is, there's a reason to this. It's a very wide track. However, when you go around the outside of the corner around the circuit, because this a lot of the circuit's banked, you lose a lot of time by going on the banked section. So you don't want to go around the outside of somebody. You want to go on the inside. And if they cover the inside, then you're going to have to slow down. So it's a very interesting track to race. It's very difficult. There's a lot of gravel traps as well. So you really don't want to get it wrong. You're in the gravel trap, and you'll be sent packing for the rest of the race. That's for sure. So hopefully we can set a good lap. We set a purple sector 3, which is pretty good. We're closing in on Vettel now, under a second behind him. We're just opening up nearly a second gap to our teammate already, but I don't mind that. We are a little bit quicker than Gasly. I've always felt my race pace has been pretty good, but it's just a qualifying pace. All I need. I feel like in the race pace I can actually compete with the Ferraris and the Renaults this season, as we are P3 in the Constructors' Championship. So we're P3 in the Constructors, and I want it to stay that way. So we are going to have to be fighting against teams like Ferrari, Red Bull, and Racing Point. Ferrari, Renault, and Racing Point for that P3 spot. We're never going to be in front of Red Bull, but it's just going to take a few very good results and just some consistent points is what's needed. And if Pierre can carry on doing what he's doing in this race and maybe come across to the P9 finish, which he did last race, it'll be 2 red points finishes in a row for Pierre. It'd be great for the team, because it's what we didn't have last year with Giotto. We didn't have a teammate that could give us points. Although our car was underdeveloped, it still is underdeveloped. It's still the same place pretty much in the performance chart. We are making major improvements now, which we'll see in a couple of races' time, which will help us. But for the start of the season, Pierre's already bagged himself some points, and this race he's still looking strong. So hopefully he can bag some points. Hopefully the team don't mess up his pit stop or put on the wrong tyres or anything like that. That's out of his and my control. That's the only thing that can be a little bit unfair in this game is the AI. As myself as a driver, I can choose what car and strategies choose. A great timing, as Jeff has just asked me, so I can choose which one I want to go for. And I can't control what Pierre chooses. And whether he chooses to go on the hard tyres, the medium tyres, or anything, I don't know. And I don't know if he can control it. So that's just something that's just down to fate, I believe. But he's got quite a good gap to walk on. He's got about a second gap to Esteban. Hopefully he can keep him behind. And we're sort of closing in on Vettel, but not by a lot. We're sort of closing in about 10th or so a lap. And that Ferrari just got quite good downforce, and it's pretty good in the straights. We are quicker than Vettel in the straights. Our engine is better. But I think his drag on his error in that car is pretty good. So actually in a straight line it sort of evens itself out. No matter how good the powertrain is, you have good drag reduction. Not with the DRS, but just generally good drag reduction, then you should be quicker anyway. We're not going to be able to challenge Vettel into turn 1, which is a little bit too far behind. But we are much closer now. We're only 2 tenths behind, so hopefully the next couple of laps we should be able to start challenging Vettel. Maybe look to go around the outside here. And get a little bit of a slingshot exit on that banking. It's very steep banking there. And Pierre's actually getting Ocon right behind him, isn't it? Ocon's only about 5 tenths behind Pierre now, so there could be a fight which may turn to see Pierre maybe get put down to 10th. Hopefully he can keep Ocon behind. as again, Pierre has had pace this weekend. He did qualify P9, so it'd be good to see if he can finish where he qualified, which would be nice to see. So again, Vettel was still 6 to 7 tenths behind him. We got a bit close in the braking zone, but a bit of a poor exit from us. So we're not going to get any closer. Just this circuit, I did ease up my ERS to get past Kvyat and Pierre at the start of the race. I wasn't expecting to fight the Ferrari at all for this race. So that's why I used up all of my ERS at the start, and it turns out I'm fighting him, and I don't have a lot to use to attack him with. Hopefully we can get past him. Let's just see if we can. And we're going to keep going, maybe getting down the inside into turn 1. We set a purple sector 3, and we get down the inside of Sebastian Vettel. Actually quite an easy move in the end. Oh, we lose the rear end. Look at that. We just catch the rear end, and Vettel's going to maybe attack us again. Can we just keep him behind? We should be able to. And that was Vettel kept behind. So we're up into P7 now with Daniel Ricciardo next up. I doubt we're going to be able to catch Ricciardo and Leclerc. You know, they're 3 seconds up the road. It took me quite a while to catch up to Vettel. Anyway, we come to lap 10 for my pit stop lap. Talking to Charles Leclerc right behind us in the pits, but he's in front of us. What stop did we get? 2.1, actually a very good stop from the Morris Motorsport crew. And Daniel Ricciardo is ahead of us on hard tyres, so although he was about 3 seconds ahead, we could possibly maybe overtake him towards the end. He's on hard, so towards the last couple of laps he will be quicker than us. But we've gained a second on him there in the pits. So hopefully we can gain on Ricciardo on this strategy. We need to make the most of our first couple of laps here, because towards the end of this stint he will be quicker than us, because those hard tyres in the last couple of laps my tyres have gone off and his wouldn't have yet. So we need to make the most of our fresh medium compound tyres compared to his hards. So let's just see if we can get as close as we can to him. There's maybe a possible P6 I believe he's in. He obviously says P10, but he's in P6 because of the pit stops. My teammate should be coming into the pits this lap as well. We get on the curbing. Let's see if we can change gear a little bit quicker. Yeah, through the gears. And we're just 1.6 seconds behind now, so we gained over half a tenth. Or half a second rather on this lap so far. Pierre's in for a stop. We're going to deploy our overtake button and try and get a bit closer. But again, we've run out of ERS and we're pretty much out of fuel as well. So because I feel the car so light, this is where filling the car heavier does help me later on the race, because I have more rich mix to play with. This means I'm a bit slower at the start, but towards the end it's really helpful, whereas now I don't have a lot of fuel, so maybe that's something I've got to play with track on track and just see which is better. But we're 1.6 seconds behind, so we've gained about 5 tenths of a second on that lap. We skipped to lap 15 and we're 1.4 behind with 3 laps to go, so we do sort of get within that 1.5, 1.6 seconds, but I haven't really got any closer to him. And this is where I noticed my tyres starting to go off compared to him, because on the straights he was quicker than me. And my powertrain is better than his, so on the exits of the corners he's just getting better traction, and in general just getting better exits. So hopefully we can wait for Daniel to maybe make a mistake and we can just get a better exit off a couple of corners. But again, we just got nothing to fight with. It's something I need to sort of learn and improve with the cars, improve our recovery system for our battery, because the battery really doesn't charge up that quickly in this car, so it's something I do need to improve. Anyway, Ricciardo's about 1.8 seconds ahead. I doubt I'm going to be able to catch him for the end of the race. You know, I got it down to this sort of gap about 3 laps ago, and it's never really got any bigger, so we got a bit of a sloppy exit as well off that corner, and Vettel's actually gaining us. We've got to be careful of Sebastian Vettel. He's only 1.2 seconds behind, so maybe towards the end of the race we're going to get Vettel a little bit closer to us. That's actually a very good exit out of that corner as well. Let's just see if we can get a good exit on the power nice and early. And try and get a little bit closer. We're 1.8 seconds behind, so it's going to be difficult to catch Daniel here. I believe it's going to take a mistake from him for me to get closer. Vettel's 1.4 seconds behind, so we've opened up a little bit of gap to Sebastian. We want to keep that gap as much as we can. And talking about our teammate as well, I can't see him P9, and I don't think he's P10 either. So in regards to Gasly, I don't think he's going to get any points this weekend. And what actually happened is I'll talk to you about at the end of the race as well. The team, as I was saying about strategy, the team actually ended up putting him on hard tyres. So like I said, with the strategy option, us not being able to select what he does, he ended up getting put on the hard tyres. So I think he came out in P11 or P10 after his stop, and just everybody around him had quicker tyres. Everyone had medium tyres that they'd already had for a lap, so they were turned up and they were on temperature. But yeah, it looks like actually it goes Giotto, then it goes Ocon, and then it's one of the McLaren. So actually, Kvyat, well not Kvyat, Gasly's going to be down to like P12. So he's just really not had the best of luck this weekend. He actually had some good pace in quali, so I'm not actually disappointed in him. I just don't understand why he got put in hard tyres. Whether that was his choice, I don't know.
Leading our teammate by 12.0 seconds. They're on old hards. They're in 12th. The time last lap was a 1:12.2.
So as my engineer Jeff just said, he's 12.2 on the last lap, which is 8/10 slower than my fastest. He's on old hard tyres and he's in P12. So no points from Gasly this weekend. He put on a good show in qualifying, which does help money-wise because one of our sponsored goals is achieve P10 or better, and that's just one of us out of our teammates, so which he has achieved. So I mean, it's a bit of a difficult one. I would have hoped he would have got points this weekend, but yeah, he didn't end up in the end. Again, Vettel's only half second behind. Now I reckon if this race went on for another couple of laps, he definitely would have caught us up by the end of the race. We break a little bit later because I can just see Vettel's only 3/10 behind now. So in regards to the gap with Ricciardo, it sort of evened out. Once it got down to 1.6 seconds and 1.7 seconds, it never really got any closer than that. But all in all, pretty good race for me. Started in P12, ended up P7. Good race from us and more points for the Morris Motorsport group.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
So P7 in the end, not a bad result. Again, it would have been great if Gasly could have gotten himself some points. But I need it because the teams I'm fighting against are Renault, Racing Point and Ferrari. They're the teams I'm fighting with this season, so I do need some good results from my teammate a little bit more. It's positive that I saw him get into Q3. It's a positive to take away from the weekend. Maybe the team did mess up his strategy. Hopefully it's something as a team that we can work on in future races and just get the strategy right. Because on these 25% races, I do believe that going on the hard tyre is not the one to do. But yeah, Ocon came 10th again. He doesn't look very happy, I'll be honest, at all. He looks pretty miserable with that result. So yeah, after that weekend, pretty good result from us. Hopefully in the next few races we can get these major chassis upgrades coming through, which can really boost our car forwards in terms of development. So good race weekend. Next up, the next Grand Prix I believe is the Spanish Grand Prix. A circuit which I'm not too bad at. It's not my favourite circuit, but again, it's just another circuit which points are definite possibility. We should have our chassis, one of our chassis upgrades coming through. We're fourth in the drivers, we moved down the drivers, and we're fourth in the constructors. Not many points separate Renault, Ferrari and Racing Point. Anyway, thank you very much guys. If you did enjoy, smash the thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.